Welcome to Simply Heaven, the podcast where we tackle the biggest question of all time: what happens after I die? And more importantly, how do I get into heaven? Join us as we dive into what the Bible says, explore other perspectives from other religions, and share some wild personal stories along the way. This is a space for honest and real conversations for those looking for hope in this broken world. So grab a coffee, settle in, and join us as we uncover the truth together.
All right, welcome back. Here we go. So today's topic is pride.
Pride.
Yes. And we're going to...
I think I've got the best pride, by the way.
You got the best pride?
Oh, yeah. My pride is exquisite.
Wow. What are you, king of the jungle? Is that what you're trying to tell us? So the reason for pride, but we're going to try to stick to a sort of topic in the subtents of everything in the word pride, and we're not going to go all over the place, I hope. Knowing us, we will. But we're going to try to keep it strictly on women's ministry in the pride. Well, yeah, because you're the one that was just like, oh, women pastors, is it okay for them to lead churches? Is it okay for men to follow?
Whoa, slow down.
Well, okay, wait.
I think pride broadly is good as a topic.
Yes. Okay. I thought you were saying
come
pride's
in, and we'll
good.
come into that too. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know.
Let's go back to how it came up.
My daughter told me. She said, you should do a topic on pride. Mm-hmm. And I said, am I too prideful? Mm. And then she said, no, I'm lying. She was just like, yes, you're full of it. She was just like, no, I think it's a great topic because we do so much things out of pride instead of what we should be doing. You know, and where does pride stem from? What does it look like? How do we counter it? You know, and there's so many things that stop us from becoming who we need to become because of pride and growing and all that stuff. And, you know, and it can be a curse. You know?
I think it usually is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think of when in the Bible pride was like, and it was a good thing that he was proud, or his pride carried the day, or...
I don't know. Is there I don't think there is.
I don't know if anyone is ever described that way. Is there?
No.
Like, no one is actually described
man.
as brave even, right? I mean, do you think...
Samson
was...
I was brave.
Yes, okay. But that's bravery, though. That's not pride.
Right, I'm trying to think of any adjectives that...
And I mean, David was brave.
Okay.
David was brave, yes.
I'm trying to think of adjectives. I mean,
okay, well, let's just start with the first man. What was the fall of man?
I would say it was pride.
It was pride. It was right. I mean,
which means it was the first. It was the first lie that worked.
Correct.
Was based on pride. The first strategy he used was, how can I play with pride?
Correct.
You know.
But let's even go back. I mean, so the Bible reference would be Paul in Corinthians, I believe, which is we don't wage war against flesh and bone, but against principalities and dominions from above, which is referencing the spiritual warfare that we see.
Right.
And the spiritual warfare starts with the fall of Satan. Mm-hmm. And Satan's cardinal sin was pride.
There you go.
Correct.
And that is, I think that's why it is the cardinal sin, because when you put yourself before God, there was the one other who did that, and it didn't go so well.
No, it did not.
But we get the chance to decide if we want to be God or not, our own God or not.
Well, I don't want to be God.
Well,
should be too much.
Be your own God. That is your choice.
That's the world looking at it.
Well, and I think that's what pride is it not?
Well, it's a worldly view. It's a worldly concept.
Well, kind of if you look at what David was just saying, Lucifer's sin was pride. He said, correct. I can do what you do better.
Yeah, with more smoke and mirrors. Because he's also the great deceiver. He's also the greatest liar of all time. So he's not technically doing what God's doing. He's just taking claim of it.
Taking claim over the creation.
Correct. Mm-hmm. And saying, look, what he can create, but I can take that creation and make it better with smoke and mirrors and BS.
So how is that different than what we do when we get up every day without giving that to him?
Ooh.
See what I mean?
I don't know, but I ain't too proud to beg.
But I think that is why that is the cardinal sin. Because if you wake up every day and say, "I see what you made here. I did a good job."
Well, yeah, right. That would be pride. You'd be proud of what you've accomplished.
As if it were your own creation.
Correct. Sometimes, yeah, we do that. I mean, I do that. We all do that. Yeah.
David, what you got? I know you don't have the energy to break in, so
yeah, he's on a bean diet.
You're gonna leave the door open.
Strictly beans for 21 days.
Water.
That's why we have the door open.
No, it's not.
Water and coffee beans. That's right.
Yes, there you go. There it is.
See, I told you. I kept some in the tank for you guys.
So we're gonna give it a little update. You're on day 15.
Yeah.
Of a fast.
Yeah.
But what would be the difference between a biblical fast and just a fast? Like, oh, look what I did. I'm so proud of what I'm achieving.
Ripped.
Right. How do you keep it so it's not your pride that's pushing you forth, it's God?
That's a great segue. Good job, Greg.
Yeah. I've done this once before, you know.
Yeah.
Only once, though.
Very, very simply, Psalm 51, I believe verse 7 or 17. I think there's a 7 in it.
We won't hold you to it. It's only God's word.
Yeah, it's only God's word, right?
He knows what he wrote.
Yeah.
The only sacrifice acceptable for God is a broken and contrite heart, which comes from David right after he was confronted with the sin of murdering Uriah and his affair with Bathsheba. And it's David coming to God fully surrendered. And we get this beautiful imagery in that whole chapter of Psalm 51 that the only worship that God really wants to see is our hearts.
Correct.
And I think the best way to answer that question is when it comes to a fast, it's what is your heart posture? It's, am I fasting because I want to drop a few pounds?
Right, I want to lose weight, which is a common thing.
Am I fasting because I'm putting God to the test, which some people will do?
Okay.
Not in a very good way. And here's what I mean.
Okay.
Because there is a thing like our church is fasting because we are expecting. Number one, our church felt led by God to do the fast,
which is what I think you should do.
Yeah, and we also are doing this with the expectation that God is going to reveal if it's not through this fast. But we also have a big outreach that's coming up in September, so we are feeling led that through, in the Bible, and the Word says that through prayer and fasting,
right,
that there's something different that happens with our relationship with God. And so we are expecting that God is going to reveal some things. So I think that is the healthy way of looking at it, but there are some people that would be like, oh, my boyfriend just broke up with me. I'm going to fast so that my boyfriend comes back. Right. That would be one of those things as well, you know?
It's kind of like prayer as if it's a transaction.
Right.
Prayer for a transaction.
Right. I'm going to get that. Yeah. Right. Yeah. There's expectation.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I came into... I went very strict on mine. Not right, wrong, or indifferent, but I wrestled with God for it. We had our pastor and our elder team gave us a 2 weeks notice before the fast because it was kind of a...
Did you try to tackle and weight real quick?
Not necessarily.
He was up to 250. He's now down to 150.
Yeah, right. We had 2 weeks to kind of prepare, and in that time, I was really just petitioning with God on like, what does it look like? What does it need to look like?
Because it's different for everybody.
100%. And for me, with the lifestyle that I live, I couldn't do what a lot of the other people in my church were doing, which is more intermittent fasting or doing other things. And I just sat, and I very, very clearly, I felt like I heard the Lord say, you're going to give up food. Like, you're going to give up everything food-wise. And I did it, I think, a smart way, where I committed to the first 7 days of no food. And then I said after that, I said I wanted to do I wanted to at least do the first 7 and the last 7 days of the fast strictly just water, coffee, a little bit of bone broth, whatever.
Right.
And I said that middle 7, I'll play it by ear. If absolutely needed and I'm like, I can't even function,
Right.
I might add in a protein shake or I might do something like that. And
just to get you.
Just to maintain because of, yes, Jesus fasted in the desert for 40 days and it is 100% possible. And I also know that we as human beings do have limitations and God understands our limitations. So I didn't want to commit to a 21-day full fast without at least giving my understanding.
Giving it your all.
Right. And that's what I was thinking.
And acknowledging your limitations.
Right.
So that, I mean, it still needs to be something you feel you can tackle.
Correct.
Right. And not being too prideful in committing to something that would be super detrimental that God didn't even want me to do in the first place. And one of I think the biggest things to struggle with in a fast, honestly, is ironically pride. Yeah. Because it's very easy when you're fasting. Like, it's funny how often people come to you and offer food when you're on a fast.
Really? What? Oh, that's great. I
love
that.
Like you with unknowingly.
Yeah. Oh, yes, unknowingly. Okay.
Yeah. Like they'll.
By the way, we're having a buffet
something
tonight at my house.
Oh, yeah.
You're
Thanks.
You're free
Thanks,
to go.
Greg. I appreciate that.
Steaks, potatoes.
I'll be a.
We'll just throw in lobster just for shits and giggles.
I'll be an observant participant.
It's at the window.
An observant and salivating participant.
He'll be at my window just like.
But, and like, here's the thing is, number one, with everything, it's led to a lot of good conversation because a lot of my friends from church and stuff, like, the ones that aren't as strict as me, like they felt weird about, like, we have habits, like Tuesday nights I go down to my church, we have a class afterwards. A few of my friends and I would go out to eat afterwards.
Sure.
The last 2 weeks,
what do you do?
The last 2 weeks they wanted to, and their fasting consists of like, they can eat then and
you can't.
And I can't. And they were very like, oh no, we don't want to do that anymore. I was like, but why? And I said, well, because you can't eat and da-da-da. And I'm like, yeah, but you can.
But that's really a great thing. That's nice though that they at least
100%.
You know, I wouldn't care.
And the thing is though is like what's great though is then I go out to restaurants and
your bill's a lot cheaper.
Yeah, a little bit.
You have to go now.
Yeah, you have to go.
You got to buy something, man.
Everybody else is buying stuff. I'm just
messing with you.
Hey, they charge me when I ask for a bone broth. If they have the soup that's available for it, and I can like just ask them to like ladle in the broth, nothing else.
Right.
They still charge me for a cup of soup.
Do they really?
Some do.
Oh,
Some do.
I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
So, how has your prayer life been during this time?
It's funny. I was actually telling Greg before you got in. These past 2 weeks, I've never felt closer in my walk with God than I am right now. Yeah. Like, and again, I just want to make it clear. It's not that fasting is what did this 100%. Does it help though? Yes.
Sure.
Because when you are so dependent, like I'll be very honest, like I have to be careful how quickly I stand up right now or I will black out.
Right, because you're not
I get lightheaded very quickly. I have hunger cravings.
Just think constantly. He's driving around a neighborhood, by the way.
Slowly.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it's
a lifestyle choice for your how many days and then beyond.
And like the whole part of fasting is you are replacing something that consumes a lot of your life. So that's why,
of course,
in the old times, a lot of fasting was food related. But nowadays, I mean, fasting can be from social media. Fasting can be from
that's true. That's a good point.
From coffee or caffeine. It can be from a lot of other things. And it's just that, okay, so now when you used to be sitting down eating your meal or when you used to be sitting down scrolling on Facebook or whatever, you should be using that and tailoring that time now for God.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that has been like a huge shift. Like I honestly can say I don't think in these past, at least this past week, the first week was kind of, getting into the rhythm of it. But like this past week, I don't think there's been a single hour that went by that I wasn't in prayer of some kind or worship with God.
Right. Just to get you through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You need to lean on him even more when you've taken something that you've been...
doing it for your whole life.
Depending on,
yeah. 3-4 times a day sometimes you eat. So let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. At the end of the 21 days, are you going to feel proud of yourself?
That's a great question. And
is that pride?
I don't... you see, it's funny because depending on how I answer this, it could come off prideful.
Right. But that's the whole
I know
topic.
I don't think I'm going to be proud of myself because...
Really?
Yeah, and here's why.
Okay.
Jesus fasted 40 days. I'm only doing 21. I'm just beating half of what he did.
Wow. Okay.
So if my life is to live the life like Christ, and that should be my goal, eventually I would love to do a 40-day fast. And even after that, I don't think I'd be proud because it's not about...
It's not supposed to be.
Right.
But like a marathon trainer, you know what I mean? You don't start off with 50 miles, you start off with
But here's...
5.
So you asked the question earlier, Steve, about if there was anywhere in the Bible where like pride was kind of like a good thing. Mm-hmm. And then I got reminded of, and I did look it up a little bit too, but there's a verse that Paul writes too, and it says that the only thing that he said, I'm not saying this to be boastful, but I am going to boast in, and it's the work of Jesus. So I'm not going to boast about, I did 21 days, no food, But what I will boast about is all of the works that I've seen God do in this 21 days. And
that's the right answer.
That is the biggest thing.
I agree 100%. It's kind of like anger.
Boasting.
Right? It's kind of like anger. Anger isn't in itself a sin. It's what do we do when anger happens, right? Pride, because there's righteous anger, and I believe there's righteous pride, right?
Okay.
Righteous anger is anger at something that even God himself is angry about. Not you because someone scratched your car. Mm-hmm. That's not righteous anger. That's prideful. That's selfish anger.
Right.
Whereas, then... flipping over tables versus flipping over tables in the temple.
Right. And it's also, I don't, I hate the sin, I don't accept it.
I know, I hear what you're saying, but I don't like that one.
Wow, that was very proud of you.
That one it's troubling. But no, what I mean is being boastful,
right,
and proud of Christ, being proud to be part of the body of Christ, being because being proud to be part of the body of Christ isn't being proud of yourself at all. You see what I mean?
Right.
It's not pride in yourself. It's I'm boastful in the work that he's done. Like I would say, even
being boastful in the work he's done in me.
In general, yes, and what I can see and what I've seen him do in other people, and but it's weird. It's like I'm boastful in the spirit. Like when someone tells me about good news or a miraculous thing that happens in their life, I don't know if I feel pride, but I feel joyful. But it's not for me, is it? So what is that? What is that?
So then I'm going to keep it on the same surface. Mm-hmm. So why, as men, is it our job, or when our father tells us, "Oh, I'm proud of you"? Why is that such a seeking feeling that we're all trying to achieve? Because at the end of the day, I know you're both of your dads are passed, but I'm sure there's something deep down inside that you want your father to say, "I'm proud of you." Why do we seek that?
You think it's only men?
I think it's more so men than women, but I could be wrong. But I'm only in a room full of men, so it's hard for me to ask.
Okay, no, I'm just wondering if you think only men feel that. I think every one of us needs that kind of acceptance.
Of course.
Does that necessarily come from the father or your father? Mm-hmm. I think I think we all crave the acceptance of a loving authority.
But
authority matters.
Authority does matter, but it also who scares us more than anybody as a kid? It's I'm going to go tell your father.
Well, it could be your mom. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I think it comes off different.
I do think I think
it's harder.
I think you're onto something there, Greg. And I think it's.
Thank you, David. See,
no, he's right. But
I think
it's because I'm.
I don't think it's the. Yeah, that's right. I don't think it's necessarily like a son looking at his father. I don't think it's the son that matters. I think it's kids in general,
right?
Whether girl or boy.
Yeah. Well, I think it's any age too.
Any age, I think there's something that they look for in the pride, and I think it actually is a beautiful replication of our longing of what our longing should be.
Correct.
For God to be proud of us.
Amen.
Yes.
And I know for me, like, I don't think I ever heard my dad say he was proud of me.
Right.
Ever in the time that he was around. And I know for so long of my life, I did, even in my early 20s before I was saved, and even parts of my life being saved, there were still parts like, and they resurfaced after my dad passed and I went through everything of like, man, please tell me that's not rain.
I'm telling you, I think it's rain.
I left my windows down.
Wow.
Because I didn't think it was going to rain.
Okay.
You know what that is? That's pride not looking into the weather map.
All right.
It's heavy rain too. You better run.
So
don't get up too fast.
Oh gosh, and don't run too fast.
Don't run too fast.
Oh gosh.
He might be dead.
So for those of you who are following along, this is the second time we had this run during recording.
See, and if you look up in the studio, people don't realize that I have a light that's partially cloudy.
Yeah, it's only partially.
It's only ever partly cloudy.
It's bright though. I don't know where the rain's coming from. I don't see a rain cloud in the light.
Did all of that and I forgot my keys.
Oh God,
he's still running.
He's still running. Oh shoot.
So, I mean, getting back to that father being proud thing, I think what David said is exactly what I believe too. That longing, I think, is built into us.
Yes.
To want.
But why? Why is
God?
Why does He put that in our heart?
That's kind of one of His signatures. You know, it's seriously. I do believe. It's one of those. I've let
12 herbs and spices. Fried chicken
that is part of the signature blend. You have a special blend of herbs and spices just made for you, and that's one of them. I think we all have that one spice. Everyone else has, it's all unique, but that one spice, that one
that takes it to the next level.
That's the one where it's like I've put you out into this world, but you still have my name on you. That's what that is.
Something. Yes, I agree with you. In that God technically, I mean, we were made in the image of God, and it's something that I think we all long to strive to be, is make Him proud.
Or to be reunited in some way, and we have that with our parents, and I think it starts, and it's. But then once we kind of grow past or through that relationship, or in that relationship, we look for in that relationship we look for, is my mom or dad proud of me? And I think you're right. It's a little bit different for a father and mother, especially if the child has.
Did you get it?
Yeah. Another side effect of everything.
Is your cold?
I'm freezing right now.
Oh God.
I would say
we're gonna do an episode just on fasting, by the way.
Let's do it after the fast.
Well, yeah, we could, or we could do it next week because you'll be fresh off of it.
Yeah, I'll be nomping on some.
He'll be eating everything.
No,
yes. it'll just be munching from David's chair over there.
What's that?
No, I don't think I'd handle it, honestly. That would probably kill me. No, it's gonna be. I was talking to Greg about it too. Slowly easing my way back into everything. With,
you got to.
Oh yeah.
Your stomach is gonna be shocked. So wrapping up on that part there about. Is it how a child feels with a mother being proud of them versus
a dad
father
being proud?
Versus the dad being proud?
You do the same thing.
You do the same thing, but I think there is something also innate in the relationship between a child and mother where it's expected there's an expectation that the mother is going to love you. It's like, oh, of course,
mom
I agree loves me, right? Of course, mom loves me. It's almost it's kind of innately taken for granted. You know, we were one for a while, whereas dads are not always in nature or what have you.
We lived inside the womb, and maybe it did something.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, but I'm wondering if that even just biologically there's that expectation, but even still, you know. Kid goes all the way through school and does all the stuff and wins all the trophies.
Oh,
and
no,
he gets I know, and I'm going to stay away from the other end. But then he gets up there and he says, "Hi, Mom."
Yes, exactly.
Even though Dad did all the work, but because that is still a different relationship.
It is.
But yeah, I mean, you said you've never heard your dad say, "I'm proud of you." I think I have heard it said, maybe not in those words exactly, but I've heard it said in 1,000 different ways.
Really?
So, oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Now let me ask you this. Does it feel different does it feel different when your dad says it or when your stepdad says it?
Well, I don't remember actually hearing my biological dad, my dad, ever saying it before I was 8. You know, because that was
right. You were young.
After that, I was He may have. I wasn't paying attention. Proud of me, sure, great, whatever.
Steve, I am proud of you.
You're proud of me. Where's my Tonka truck? That's how proud of you. You're proud of me. But I didn't matter who said it.
Well, it does matter who says it.
Yeah, no, it definitely doesn't. No, I mean between my stepdad, my dad, and my mom.
I'm not trying to compare the two. I'm not.
No. I think it was all. No, it was all the same. I think they just built me up to a place where their love and pride in me was it was a given. Between my sister and me, it wasn't ever a question. Yeah, I know. It was a great place to grow up from. But that was never a question.
Huh.
I know, it's weird.
Yeah, no. That shouldn't be weird though.
I agree.
That should be the norm that you feel that way.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with a lot of kids who were exactly the opposite. Not only did their parents not tell them that they were proud of them, on the other end, told them that they were worthless, stupid, blah blah blah. I'm like, well, how do you grow someone like that? I don't. And then and these
then
kids
you get
are my
made.
friends, and then that's exactly.
Thanks.
Yes, well, no, and here you are preaching the gospel. Come on.
That's true.
Yes, that's when we get you.
Greg, we're proud of you.
Thank you. So let me ask this. So since we know that it hits a little different when your dad says it other than your mother says it, and I think it even feels different. So why do you think it is that biblically that it's harder for men to follow women? Is that something that I started with the pod with that, and now I'm going back to that. Like, would you be comfortable going to a church that is led by a woman?
Personally?
Yes.
Yes. I have gone to churches that were led by women only because...
And is it biblical?
Is it biblical which part?
That women
I feel some kind of way about it?
No, that women can be pastors. And is it pride that stops us from doing it? You're saying no. I don't think I would have an issue with it. I've never been in that situation, no.
And I would...
But I know a lot of men are very like, oh, I'm not going there. There's women pastors.
Yeah, or they let women be pastors. That's another thing.
Yes.
And that's the idea, is that why would they let that happen? And I have to believe they're not just being misogynist, but they believe that there is a biblical
principle somewhere.
Principle behind it, and it shall not be broken. But for me, I believe that Jesus can speak, God can speak through anyone.
Of course.
Through anyone.
Yeah.
If you can hear it, then he's speaking. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so let's go on what Jesus actually said. Now, but she's not a pastor or whatever. But look at the woman at the well. Mm-hmm. After she finds out that he is the Messiah, he tells her, now go and tell all the men.
That's right.
But she doesn't become a minister.
No, she's a witness.
She's a witness. Not tell all the men, but to tell all the people. Let's just be clear scripturally. I'm not disagreeing with the...
Is that what it says scripturally, though?
It's...
Well, there's many. It could have said people.
I'm going by the NIG.
Hold on. I'm looking
at you can fact check me. I'm not a...
All right.
I ain't too proud, if it's right or wrong.
Yeah. But he did tell her to go and
He did
and
tell
speak.
her, go
but
and tell.
teaching is different. I think
Yes,
that's
teaching
what
is
is
different,
in the Bible. It says, I don't know if it says women shall not be teachers
don't know.
or some such. But yeah, I guess anyone can witness, but not
Anybody can witness.
teach.
That's true. But I don't know if is it biblical or is it men just saying, "Oh, I can't go there because there's women." Is it pride again? That's not willing to listen, but yet so many of us, so many people that I know have gotten saved. It's mostly from women.
I agree. When I first became a believer,
Yeah. Who told you?
Well, it wasn't a woman that told me, but my first sermons in church, not church sermons, but the sermons that I watched between Sundays on TV was Joyce Meyer.
Okay.
And it was funny. People were like, "Why do you listen to her?" I was like, "Because what she says matches what I read in the Bible, so why would I not?"
Right. And she spoke the way you like to hear it.
Well, I could understand it, and it helped me in my walk with Jesus.
There you go.
That's
That's
what I was looking for.
right.
That's what I found.
Yes.
I don't know. Was that a bad thing that she helped me with my walk with Jesus?
I think he has an answer for us. Do
I don't know.
you have an answer for us, David?
Yeah, so technically Jesus actually never even gave her a command.
Really?
Yeah.
Not even go and sin no more?
Well, that was Mary Magdalene.
Yeah. And I mean, that was actually everybody in the Bible.
Even us.
So the actual thing that happens is Jesus goes and talks about how there's a time coming that people will be able to worship the Father, not just at the temples, but in spirit and in truth. And it's going to be Gentiles, Greek, it's going to be everybody. And the woman said to him, "I know that Messiah is coming,
Right.
he who is called Christ, the Anointed. When that one comes, he will tell us everything we need to know." Jesus said to her, "I who speak to you am he,
Right.
the Messiah." Just then, his disciples came, and they were surprised to find him talking with a woman. However, no one said, "What are you asking about?" or "Why are you talking to her?" Then the woman left her water jug and went to the city and began telling the people, "Come see a man who told me all the things I have done. Can this be the Christ, the Messiah, the Anointed One?" So the people left the city and were coming to him.
Okay. So he doesn't give her a command, but she does go and tell the men.
She tells everybody.
She tells everybody in the city, men and female, or man, you know what I mean. But
Right. And that's and the only reason I wanted to make the distinction was because
we
it
want to
wasn't
make
just,
sure it's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
But
I
of
agree
course
with that.
there were men involved in that.
Yes. But why is it most of the men that I have ever met have gotten saved through women, but yet a lot of men also will be like, I ain't listening to a woman.
So the verse that that we are looking for that kind of, I think, says it most clearly is 1 Timothy 2:12. So the verse is, I don't know if it's in specifically, but
Is it King James?
Paul. Well, no, this one is 1 Timothy 2. "I do not permit a woman to teach or to exercise authority over a man. Rather, she is to remain quiet." And then there's another passage.
Send me that so I can send it to my wife.
Good luck with all that. But so that is the one. But then there's another verse in Titus that says women can teach, other women and children. So that is the verse that comes up. That is
Right,
used.
that's the one that
that's
they-
used. That is what is leaned upon. So
are we breaking God's law if there's a woman pastor?
So and here's the thing that I think a lot of people miss out on in the Bible, which is context. So Timothy was a letter written to Timothy.
Right.
And Timothy at the time was in, where was he ministering in? Steve, if you want to look that up for me really quick. So Timothy was a disciple of Paul and apprentice of Paul, I guess would be the better term, however you want to say it. But
Sure.
Timothy was in a location where, in the culture of the time, they had a goddess who was very prominent, who
Ephesus.
in
He was sent
Ephesus,
to Ephesus.
yes. So in Ephesus, they had a goddess who was very prominent at that time frame, and that goddess really made women feel like they could speak out.
Right.
Also, another part of that verse too is in that culture as well, men and women would have sat in different sides of congregation.
Right.
So what would happen in the middle of services would be the women would be sitting on the one side, the men on the other. The women weren't understanding what was being spoken, so they would be calling over to their husbands on the other side saying, "Honey, what is he saying?"
Wow. It's just like I'm at the movie theater with my wife.
Right?
What's going on?
So that was becoming a disruptance in the church.
Yes.
Okay.
So what the letter here is really just describing is women.
Basically, shh.
Well, it says then ask your husbands when you get home. So a lot of people, and here's the thing.
But why does he say hold positions of authority? Specifically, hold positions of authority over men. That is the. Let me read it again. Let me read it again specifically. So
is it because?
Hold on.
Go ahead, read it again.
So it's 1 Timothy 2:12. I do not permit a woman to teach or to assume authority over a man. She must be quiet. And then he goes on. For Adam was formed first, then Eve. Mm-hmm. And Adam was not the one deceived. It was the woman who was deceived and became a sinner. Mm-hmm. But women will be saved through childbearing if they continue in faith, love, and holiness with propriety. Okay. That sounds like a fairly misogynistic verse to any woman listening.
Of course.
Is Jesus curious? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So
what
do we do with that?
But I'm going to, this is my thoughts on it. Is it because Jesus calls us to love our wives as he loves the church, but he asks wives to respect us? Like, I love it hearing, oh, I love you, okay. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But when there's a situation, right, I want her to be more inclined to be like, go to him. He has the answer. He's the authority. He's the head of the household. We're called to be the head of the household, not to be the loving one. And you said that earlier, like, mom, you just expect to love you. You have a more warm and giggly feeling inside. Right. Oh, mom loves me. But you're not looking for that from dad. You're looking for good job.
And that when you break down the Greek words and everything with the verse that you quoted,
right?
What we find out, and here's the irony of tying into this verse, is how God created us. So isn't it funny that in the verse that you're quoting, men are commanded to love their wives. Women are commanded to respect their husbands.
Right.
That wouldn't be a commandment if it was natural.
It feels more natural, though.
Hold on. What I mean is, it is how God distinctly made men and women different.
Right.
In the subconscious is with the different roles that he created for us, which is going to tie into what you said earlier, too, about the misogyny. It is easier for a man to operate out of a showing of respect.
Correct.
And here's what I mean. In modern terms, if you're walking down the street arm in arm with your wife, and I go up and I'm like, wow, you are the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
Right? Or I start hitting on her, or or I do something. What stops most men from doing that is the knowing of, I do that, you're going to do something with me. There's going to be an altercation, whether just verbal or physical.
Right.
There's a respect.
Correct.
Most women, because of how even what the Bible teaches, women are to be protected, cherished, and everything. So because of that, women don't necessarily, in today's day and age, modern times have changed things a little bit. There's always the exceptions, but they don't grow up with the understanding as much of the respect peer-to-peer, like in that regard. So for
you're gonna shake it up. Yes.
Okay. Check it out. Check it out. But this is great because you know what I mean? This is what we should be.
Yeah. And this is what I'm talking about. I think my concern is how a verse like that becomes used as a prejudice rather than anything godly. And it generally gets used from a point of pride.
Oh,
I mean, I don't say generally.
Exactly. No,
I
that's
don't.
100%.
So here, let's flip the script.
You're 100%
Let's flip the
correct.
script.
It could be
so
used as
you're
pride.
saying it's prideful for a man to, and I want to just preface this.
Yeah.
I am not saying I believe one way or the other when I say this. Okay?
Yeah.
We're just spinning this all around.
Yeah.
So you're acknowledging the pride for a man to be able to say women shouldn't be a pastor, and how it might look for a woman to hear that verse.
Yes.
So where's her pride if that verse affects her?
Right. And well, that's
the thing. Yeah.
that is.
Do you see what I mean?
I do.
So
but
it's a
here's the thing. But
double-sided coin.
Is it though? Is one of these prides, if you will, righteous? For example, if it's almost like telling someone, whether it's a woman or whatever, you can't do this, but I can. Right? Let's say it's not about what God has written, but what you're. I know. I'm saying if we took that out of it, what would be the initial reaction? Right? I can do this, but you can't. You and I have the same capabilities, but I can do this and you can't.
Right.
Why? Why? Because God said you can't. Now, if that is the conversation, because we both agree that this is what God said, and you love God, I love God,
sure.
And this is why. So yes, and then at that point, if no one has any pride, then there's no problem with that, right? But since this is something that is written by God, because if I said this, we have equal capabilities, I can do this and you can't, you're immediately going to be,
right.
I don't know what you want, offended or like, but why not?
Sure.
Now, what about me? And that
I want to address the equal capabilities part because I don't believe men and women have equal capabilities.
I agree.
Yeah. See, that's
but we're different.
We're different.
Yes.
Okay,
God.
I'll lay it out in a way. It's the middle of the night.
Well, I guess what I'm getting. I understand that. I'm not making a general statement.
Right.
What I am saying is, and what I hear you guys brushing up against, and that's why I'm trying to keep you off that guardrail. Is what are you telling me that you don't believe that a woman and a man are both capable of teaching?
No. So
holding authority or speaking God's word, which is the what is the pushback on equal capabilities in this regard?
So I think it's
spiritual.
Yeah.
Explain the spirit.
I think that a woman can teach. They teach all the time. I mean, you can teach a child, you teach them your children in the ways, and they will, grow up with it. And that could be from the man or the woman. My perspective is there's times that we need to be the authority, and we need to be shown as the authoritarian, as God is to us.
Okay. No question about that. Strictly with regard to teaching in the churches, that's what I'm thinking.
So I would look at it this way.
Okay.
The difference between a man and a woman is it's the middle of the night. You hear something or she hears something. Who's she going to wake up? Is she going to say necessarily go check on it? We'll just say there's a bug on the ground, we'll use one of those typical male scenario things. But typically men will go and secure the home. Typically men will go and kill the spider because we have testosterone more so than them. And that gives us a different inner working than they do. It's not to be offensive.
What if you had a staff of people, security staff, because you got big enough for the blingy on your shoes are actually diamonds?
Yeah.
All right, stay with me. So now you and your wife are up in the bedroom.
Sure.
And you've got a staff of people.
Okay.
To answer to any bump in the night.
Sure.
That staff is led by a woman. Do you feel safe at night?
Led how, though?
She's your head of security.
Like, is she going to the problem?
She's your head of security.
So if I had to
Would you hire a head of security as a woman?
Let me just be, I don't want to, I don't like calling in current events, but the assassination attempt on our president there was a few FBI Secret Service agents that were women, and they fumbled very hard. A lot of them did, and I'm not just blaming the women.
Okay.
A lot of the people did.
Again, let's get off the guardrail. Let's get off the guardrail. Let's get off the guardrail.
But why are we? No. This is a Christian podcast.
I understand that.
We're going to talk about the guardrail.
What I mean is, I
would feel more comfortable with a man as a head of security than I would a woman.
I understand that, and that's kind of what
I'm not trying to be that way. I just would. And I think a woman would too.
What is that way? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like I could see fictionalized women all the time. I could see whomever, whatever. But what I mean is, a lot of that stuff does, like that feeling. I don't want to be this way, and we are gifted differently. I understand all that.
We're made different, yes.
But I think our idea of how we and where we are made different gets muddled by one of the strategies of the enemy.
Sure,
that's what I'm saying.
It can be, and let me explain it again. We are created to love our wives. He tells us to love our wives.
Yeah.
Okay?
What about all the other women?
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying love them, but like all the other.
But why is it so easy for us to, like, when we have to do something that is more macho, it comes more natural towards us? Like, oh, there's a threat. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna fight it because it's harder for him.
But that's not to everyone.
Yeah, but more so men. I would feel.
It's more. Yeah,
I mean, instinctual.
It's more.
Okay.
Like, all right, I'm gonna ask you this.
Okay, so here's the thing. So
who's
Steve,
more likely to do the workout at Men's Alliance, me and you, or our wives?
But if I gave you a different, if I can give you 3 women, that would be more likely than all of us. That's what I'm saying.
But here's the thing. Okay,
I guess.
But here's the thing, though. Okay, and this is one of the things that I want to just address really quick. We cannot keep going to the extremes.
Okay,
we have to stick in the we are speaking in the generality. Mm-hmm. At least in this conversation, in the context, Greg and I. There is always exceptions to
Steve's the exception today.
There's always the exception, right?
In the way.
100%. I know. I am confident with my martial arts background that there is 95% of men that walk across the street that if push comes to shove, I can take them saying there's no weapons involved.
Right. Not right now, though, because you would pass out.
I would, yes, exactly.
See me next week. I got you, bro.
Next week.
Don't cross my path next week.
Not right now.
However, with that being said, I still think there's probably a 1 to 5% of women, I don't even want to give a number to it.
Sure.
Scratch the number.
Yeah.
I am also not too prideful to admit that there's probably a few women out there that would definitely take you out. Too.
Oh, yeah.
But again, the larger majority is that I would not be afraid of a female threat physically. Like, I'm more confident to restrain a woman if they are attacking me, endangering me, then it would be a male number.
But to your point, it's easier for us to stick our chest out and show how macho we are. But I feel it's a lot harder for men to sit there and show that loving compassion because we're taught that. That's why he asked us to show our wives love.
Right. But when you say taught, that's the part that I think gets muddled.
It's more natural for a woman to love than it is for a man.
That's the part that gets muddled by the enemy because the teaching is taught here.
Right.
In the world where he can mess with that teaching. So I think a lot of that teaching, even the word macho and manly and all that stuff,
of course,
is it muddles the message, and that muddled message also pushes women back, and those who will use it to keep women back.
Yeah, I'm not trying to use it to keep women back. I feel it's a beautiful dance.
So, but the men who do use
not
it
to use
a
spiritual term, but
it
the yin and
becomes
yang.
that.
Yeah.
This is going to come from my hotline, okay? And I'll give context. So
is there a number to your hotline?
Yeah. 8675309.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, and in case you were wondering, that is also the phone number for Stacy's mom, which is also just so happens to be Jesse's girl. So,
wow, that was okay. That was full circle. Well, I'm done. Just drop the mic.
Yeah, right. Greg literally did just drop the mic. By the way,
and I was wondering. I heard it in stereo. I'm like, what is that?
So, I'm a part of a ministry, run by a female.
Okay, yeah, and that's true. That is,
and she teaches the word at tent revivals. She does equipping, like equip trainings and things like that. So I am a part of a woman-led ministry.
Sure.
And I also help run a lot of the social media stuff for her pages. And the number one comment you see on a lot of the stuff is people quoting 1 Timothy 2.
That's right.
Yep. And and I don't respond to it on the social media because I don't believe there is any
I agree. I think
part
that's a smart thing to
in
do.
getting into the banter.
No, you
But here's the
No, you don't play
question
into
that.
that.
I always have for those people that have to bring up that verse is, okay, so if you have a problem with what she is doing, which she feels is fully called by God, and if you would hear her testimony and what God did in her life, you would understand why she's doing what she's doing.
Sure.
Okay? So my question then for the men that comment on it is, okay, so when are you going to step up and do it so she doesn't have to?
There you go. That's a great question.
And
Is it full of their? And I love people that quote scripture like that because they go and they Google it and this is it.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's the rest? Where's the rest of your
Right.
content?
Now, granted, the other part
I
of the
would ask them
context
who
you just
bought-
read,
Yeah.
which still is pretty clear to a regard.
Sure.
Yeah.
But what I would say though is, and I wrestle with this verse constantly because of it. It's like, okay, is there the part that is tailored for the time? Yes. But then the context afterwards goes a little bit further where it talks about the role and authority of Adam over Eve and things like that, which then kind of goes against it just being cultural and the letter. So there's an example that I heard a pastor say a while ago, and he is not against female pastors to a degree.
Sure.
He said there was a missionary that went overseas and started a church.
Right.
Nobody was there. She started from the ground up. She felt the call from God. And she led that church for years until a man came in, had equipping, and God said, it is his church now. And she submitted and gave the church over and passed it off. And he said, it would just so happen, he said, God will use men and women in the same capacity. A woman is not lesser than a man.
Correct.
Equal, but different in capabilities.
Different roles. As a husband
and in
as
different
wife,
roles
yes.
and everything. And he said, so he uses that example a lot because he says, who am I as a pastor of a church to say a woman can't be a pastor of a church? Right? Not my position. If God calls somebody to do it,
Sure.
he's going to call somebody to do it. But God also doesn't go against his word. So whether we on the outside looking in on that situation say, well, why would she give it up? Like she was running that church, and now a man comes and it's like, it doesn't matter. What matters is that in that
they're still
moment,
doing God's
she
work.
did what she felt God called her to do. And then when she felt God call her to step away, because there was, however it was, she did it. So at the end of the day, and it goes back to that hotline that I said, which is, why wouldn't God use somebody? Like God wants to use whoever's going to be on fire for Him.
That's
available.
and that's exactly, and that's how I see it. Which is why it's so strange to me to see Paul write this to Timothy going to Ephesus. I don't know where.
But again, it's the context.
I know, and I got to be careful with those kinds of justifications also, because when we start saying, okay, well, what's the context? That means every time we look at anything that we're basing our lives on, for God so loved, the world that He gave His one and only Son. Well, what's the context of that, though? You know what I mean?
Right. I understand what you're
To whom did He say that? What time was it? What time of day was it? Was it rainy? Maybe He meant a boat.
Rainy.
You know what I'm saying? That's
With
what
your
I mean.
windows open?
Right. That's what I'm saying. And I don't. So I try to be careful about those kinds of justifications, only because I've heard them used to dilute some really powerful things.
Right. You don't want somebody to twist God's word and make it so it feels warm and fuzzy.
Right.
So
that's what I mean. But this one is a hard one to. It's a hard one to turn away from.
It is
because.
But I do think the angel's advocate here. We're not going to give him glory. The right angel's advocate.
Yeah. Right.
You got to give us the content.
Yeah. The context of the situation though is, I think context matters in every scripture, because the more you get into the Greek, the Hebrew, the actual meanings, there are verses that we just brush over, like John 3:16, that when you get the context behind it and it opens your capacity to be like, oh, wow, that is...
Right,
we read it like this, but this is actually what it means.
And I think that's what I'm thinking when I'm looking at this verse.
You're not looking at it as a black and white.
No, and it doesn't stand alone. It's an entire letter,
it
does have a context in when he wrote the letter in his travels. But the part that hit me that I didn't realize before is, like, I used to have this friend. I still hope I have a friend, Eve. She was, older lady. She came to our wedding. She fell down the steps. Poor woman. But anyway. What? She did. Beautiful.
She fell down the steps.
Yes, but her name is Eve. And she would always, every time you meet her, she was like, hi, my name is Eve. It wasn't my fault. That's her thing.
I love that.
That's a great joke. That's good.
But that's the thing.
Did she find her Adam?
Yes, his name is Charlie.
Oh.
He's a great guy.
Charlie Adams?
Charlie Adams.
Charlie Adams.
So, but that thing where he brings it all the way back to Adam and Eve, and he's like, "Come on," and he's like, and he says, "Yeah, because this is all Eve's fault." And I was like, "Whoa." I didn't think anyone in the Bible ever actually said that. I just like today. I was today years old when I actually read that verse.
I was gonna say when Eve says, "Hi, it's not my fault." I would love for the guy to be like, "Hi, I'm Adam. I should have checked in."
My bad.
That would have been a great, yeah. But because that goes back to the original sin. Is it Adam's fault or Eve's fault?
Well, according to Paul.
But hold on.
But it's a different situation.
No. He didn't say
she was deceived.
He said she was deceived.
From boredom.
Which God even addressed in the original context in Genesis.
Right.
Yes.
He didn't go back and say, Eve, how could you? He said, Adam.
Yes.
Where are you?
Because he was the head of the authority. Yeah. Yes. Because he didn't check in.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, yes, it was Eve that was deceived. And I think it shows us a lot in how, again, let's go.
Well, he's supposed to be the protector.
So it was a failure of leadership.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly correct. The failure of authority.
Mm-hmm. And I think there is something to be said about going all the way back to Genesis and how we are created. Again, the generality versus the exceptions. Generally speaking, men typically respond more to logic than emotion.
Yes, that's true.
Women typically respond more to emotion than logic, which means it's easier for a woman to be deceived than a man in a certain degree.
Let me just quote the great Kanye West.
Oh, mercy.
Please don't.
I was
I'm
already
really asking you not
Adam
to.
should have said.
The paint job on this caddy is so wrecked. Oh my goodness, the pinstripe is off. Lost the hubcap.
What Adam should have said was, "Hey baby, let's put this back on the tree." Kanye, boom.
So I don't mean that
Full
women
circle.
are easier
Is that
to.
what he said?
I don't.
Yeah.
I want to add the clarity because I saw your face. I'm not saying that only women it's
Right. You're not saying women can't be deceived,
but I'm saying it is.
Yeah, I hear you. I know. It's not you. It's not what you're saying.
Right.
It's just generalities in general. I think I'm allergic to them in general. It's not you.
I understand that.
It's not.
I understand
so you just
that.
said in general, I'm allergic to things.
I know, and it's making me itchy.
In general,
We'll give you some baby powder. We got some Gold Bond in the back.
Oh, good.
triple action.
Triple action
Speaking
Gold
of Gold Bond, what happened to our man up there?
Where were you last week? We talked about this.
I wasn't here last
we
week
weren't
or the
here
week
last
before.
Or the week before, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we did.
Yeah, it's okay.
And one statistic I wanted to share with you, because you made the point about men being the authority and the spiritual side of things, that's the difference.
100%. I'm on Kanye's camp.
Okay, that's great. There is a statistic, and I don't know the exact numbers, but there was a study showed where in a non-believing marriage or couples, if the woman comes to Christ, I think there's only it's a less than 50% chance that the whole family comes to Christ.
Okay.
When the husband
Right.
comes to Christ first, it's almost a 90% chance that the rest of the family comes to Christ. So there is something that can't just be
innately.
a physical stature. It is innately, there is something. And there's also something special. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but there's something different when you go into a church and you see women raising their hands. That's pretty easy to see. A lot of women in church are more comfortable, beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's great.
But when you see a man that's fully surrendered and worshiping, it's different. And I think kids, when a child is in a church service and they see men fully surrendered to God, I think it does more for their faith than just seeing the woman. And this is my speculation. I'm saying it like that. I do believe that there are factual things that go behind that, and I think there are scriptural references that go behind that too. But my speculation on it is that I think there is something more spiritual that happens when there are God-fearing, filled men surrendered to God.
And you know what? I believe that is what Jesus calls us to be, literally, in the Beatitudes, where he said, "Blessed are the meek."
Right.
Meek, not meaning, anything other than just what you said, power,
of course,
surrendered. Like the power is there, surrendered to Christ. Like the power in all of us is there.
Yes.
But surrendered. And I hear what you're saying. When a child sees, wow, my dad is either crying or surrendered, or my dad with his head bowed or whatever, and the power that he wields in the house. Yeah. And then I see here with his head bowed in church, that I think that is striking. But I also think that's how we built our society around that.
It could be a little bit.
So what I was getting at is, how much does something like that verse affect the pride of the men in church? You see what I mean? Because
I think it goes straight to your head.
Okay, well then let's go back. Why do we not see more men fully surrendered in church? It's because they're pride.
That's kind of what I'm getting at. And I think that's why it's so striking when a child sees that, because
it is.
There's so little.
We're there to worship. We're there to receive the word of God, but we're not yet there to humble ourselves and say, "There's somebody greater than myself."
Then what are you doing there? Go back and watch football.
Don't start till 1.
Hey, hold on. I rebuke that. They're in the right place.
Yes.
Eventually.
No. But we said if you didn't come to humble yourself. We said you didn't come to humble yourself.
Hey, listen. If they're coming to exalt themselves, then 100%. Yeah.
And not all men need to get down on their hands and knees and do all that.
But it's just
don't do it for show.
Right.
But there is. Where's your relationship with Christ at?
It's the reverence.
It's the reverence.
It's reverence. That's what I'm saying. And here's the thing. I think most guys who don't hold that reverence probably either won't be there at all, because they will be staying home watching football, of course, and women, men and women, what have you.
Yeah.
Or they finally, and I watch this because we're people watchers, David, all the time. We all are, but I'm just looking and I'll see, you can see how as people walk in, which parent brought the family to this Sunday. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna look for that.
Yeah, you got to see who's kind of leading and looking, and who is kind of bringing up the rear, just like, okay, I'm doing this today. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
what time's this over?
Yeah, well, exactly. And you could kind of see that. You can see that kind of engagement, but it is striking to see men surrendering, because it is so rare. And yes, with all the things that we were talking about, men and women made differently. Yes, men, are the most prideful, and
yes,
I mean, you could say with good reason, right? Stronger in most cases, physically, what have you, and physical goes a long way.
It does,
and it all just kind of feeds in on that which we are susceptible to anyway, and it gives the enemy just.
Oh, it gives him fuel.
It's the fuel, and it's the easiest strategy. It's his first play. It's the first play in the playbook.
The first thing you do is deceive.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
He doesn't even have to flip back. Well, what do I do with this one? He's going to be a tough one. Hold on.
Here's the thing. He's been around a lot longer than any of us. Even combined, if we combined all as one life, he's been around a lot longer. So he knows every which way we're going to turn and say.
And we're not all that complicated. That's the thing.
Right. I mean, think about it. Like, that's the beauty of the Bible, is like all the same struggles that they faced 6,000 years ago, we still face today.
Yeah, true.
It might look a little different, but it's the same exact struggles.
Which is why Jesus says, "Take heart, I have overcome the world." Yes, even the one you're in now.
Amen.
So I'm going to pause us on this subject because I think we should.
Good.
I think we could have went around and around and around.
I think we went.
But it has nothing to do. We still love women.
Oh my.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
You're
saying.
saying still made it seem like before.
Well, I mean,
Like we changed our minds
I
during
was,
this
I was
conversation.
contemplating. I was going to go home and say, "Shut up, listen to me."
Yeah, I hope your wife. I hope we drop this right now, and your wife.
That's
hears
all
this.
she hears.
Oh, this is.
As
oh,
you're
she
going
hears.
home for her to cook dinner for you, and
I love you,
then
baby.
That's gonna be the. Oh yeah, that's gonna be on a sample.
Listen, I'm actually going to let you cook.
Oh gosh.
oh yikes.
Okay. Yeah. Here comes that guardrail again.
yeah,
Now we're gonna mess up the other side of the caddy.
I'm not going to judge it. I'm not. She's a beautiful cook.
I can just see the sparks flying every time we.
No, see what happens is the
Her
reason
maiden
why
name Cook? Is that why you're saying that?
No, there's a reason we don't cook together because I take over and I dominate and then I critique everything.
Is that your pride?
Yes.
There you go. See that?
I feel humbled.
Hey,
You-
hey, we're proud of you for
Thank
admitting
you.
We're proud of you, man.
She is. She's actually a very good cook. I just get in the way of it. And I start to take over and I think I can make this better.
That is
It's true. I mean, it's
that
not.
is self-aware. That is very self-aware.
Yeah, thank you.
That's
you.
honorable.
It's very honorable.
This is what we do here. We grow. We do,
I feel like I took steps today. Yeah.
and we
You
love
definitely
God.
did.
Yeah. I do love God. And you should do something, I think is the next. No. Love God. It's been a while. Wait. See, you threw me all
I
off.
did. I know. I
You
jumped right in there.
jumped
Okay.
right
Okay.
in there.
All right. I'll let you start.
All right.
Let's
So
bring it back.
wait. It's love God.
Love people.
Do something.
Yeah.
Peace.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Simply Heaven. We hope this discussion has sparked your curiosity and provided some comfort in this often confusing world. Remember, this podcast is all about honest and real conversations, and we encourage you to reflect on your own beliefs and experiences. If you enjoyed our chat, please consider sharing it with a friend or leaving us a review. It helps us reach more people seeking hope and understanding. We'd love to hear your thoughts or stories, so don't hesitate to reach out to us on social media. And remember, the journey to understanding is just as important as the destination. Stay blessed, and we'll see you next week on Simply Heaven.